Good morning. Sorry, good evening. Good evening, friends. Am I visible? Audible? Hope I am visible and audible. I am not seeing any response. Let me reduce my volume of this handset. Today, my friends, I'll just read out few documents relating Netaji on 16th August in Bangkok, 1945. Yesterday in Bengali I told few things, mentioned some documents. Today I will just read out those documents. All documents are in English. I will read out those documents and I will just add only small my interpretations. First one document, British Intelligence CSDIC file 249. I have told this file was declassified in India in 1996 and transferred to National Archives of India. That time I took the certified copy and used it in my first affidavit to JMCI. Let me read the relevant part. 16th August, as it is written. 15th August, departure to Bangkok describes Bose's presence in Singapore and his activities and preparation for departure to Bangkok to visit Hachia and Lieutenant Colonel Ishoda. 16th August, the same item describing his activities on 16th August 1945 from 9 a.m. The plane which left Singapore at 9 a.m. halted for an hour at Taiping and reached Bangkok at about 15 hours, that is 3 p.m. That evening, they were not met by anybody at the Bangkok aerodrome due to telephone line being dislocated as a result of air raid. American airports bombing everywhere, on the train lines, on the bridges, on the rivers, on the airports, on all installations. And then Netaji has to send persons physically to inform his presence to the persons whom he need to communicate. Clear? And then other part is 17th August when he's moving to Saigon. And you see, from Bangkok, from Singapore to Bangkok, 2 planes, his team came in 2 planes, only his associates. And here was my argument. When on 15th August, midnight, Japan surrendered. The surrender process was continuing from the 10th August in the naval ship Mississippi, the Tokyo Bay, and completed. And 15th August midnight, Emperor Hirohito broadcasted the surrender of his nation on Nippon Radio Tokyo. Then how when Japan has surrendered, how a surrendered government is helping a person, a rebel person, who has not surrendered and who has not whispered of surrender. There is no intention to surrender. Really rebellious move broadcasting from the radio station. How the Japanese government is violating the rule of surrender. Why? Why Japanese government is taking that risk? That was my argument. And number two argument. When surrender in Singapore is equal to surrender in Bangkok or in Tokyo or in Saigon or anywhere. Anywhere he surrenders, he will be treated in court as war criminal. Okay. But why he is taking risk? In the sky by planes, when on the air, the American British force has taken control. What was his need? What was his urge to take that risk? That is my argument. When from these documents, somewhere are arguing Bose is going to surrender, and in Taiwan, on the way to Tokyo, his plane crashed. My argument at the root is this: why he is taking the risk, and why Japan government is helping Bose, who is a rebel one, who is still then, whose speeches from radio station Singapore, even on up to 15, 16, his voice is rebellious. That is recorded again on the British intelligence file. The provisional government of Azadin, I am putting another British file, 138 INA. That is part of my affidavit and argument. The provisional government of Azadin presumably has the distinction of being the only government which has not yet made peace with the Allies, and it was in the character for a free India radio from Shonan in Singapore to be broadcasting defiance 2 days after the Japs has accepted surrender terms, with the fighting and curiously monotonous, emotionless speech from Netaji himself. There is no whisper of surrender. There is no attitude of surrender. And then I am going to another document. That document is the deposition of E. Bhaskar, the stenotypist of Netaji Subhash Chandra, in different places in Singapore and Bangkok at different times. E. Bhaskar, South Indian. This E. Bhaskaran deposed before both Shahnaz Khan Committee, Justice Khosla Commission, also to Justice Mukherjee Commission. I am today in my hand quoting from his deposition to Justice Khosla on 21st January 1971 in Chennai. I am quoting from some interesting arguments, cross-examinations. I am just for your satisfaction and for your own arguments within. The chairman of the commission asked him, anything else in that letter dictated to you? Netaji was dictating, and E. Bhaskar was typing letter after letter. I have mentioned you letters to for Eshidas, for the army Japanese headquarters, and to different persons. In this 17 years our stay, he took only 2 hours rest at the late night, and continuously meeting with different important persons and giving orders and advices. About 40 to 50 persons he has met, all vital persons. Some are instructed to go to behind the curtain, instructing someone to collect weapons, small weapons for underground revolution, and directing someone to collect the wireless sets for future communications, wireless communications, and at ordering the director of the bank, Ajadhin Bank in Bangkok, to disburse monies to different institutions, dictating and E-Bhaskar is continuously typing, and Netaji is signing all these letters. One important letter is E-Bhaskar is telling, anything else in that letter dictated to you? E-Bhaskar is saying, I am writing all this to you in a letter to John Thibby, to you. In a long letter, I am writing all this to you on the eve of taking journey by air. And subsequently, in further questioning, E-Bhaskar exposing further. Now, when Netaji mentioned in the letter about the eve of making a long journey by air and mentioned an accident or air crash, you also wondered whether he was not planning to give out an accident story in connection with the last journey of his. E-Bhaskar answering, I thought it not at that time, but subsequently I thought on it. The significance, I may face an accident. In the original letter was wrote indicating what story will come out within few days. E-Bhaskar. And similar thing I was told yesterday, that in 83-84, few informations in letters came to disciples of Bhagavanji. The disciples of Bhagavanji were staying in and around Calcutta. 83-84. In a short time, you may get the news of my death. At that time, don't come to this area. No one should come to this area. Avoid this area. The instruction came. It's a similar picture. That later indicates exactly what Bhagavanji indicated to his disciples in Calcutta. Now I am going to the position of Anil Chandra Das. That very revolutionary. The revolutionary of Sri Sangha, who worked for the India's revolution against British in Thailand, associated initially to Raspberry, then to Netaji, came in contact with Netaji, and he was given training on intelligence. That man stayed behind the curtain up to 1954 in Southeast Asia. Long after partition and transfer of power, he came to India and came to surface. In 1972, Yeshudas in Calcutta deposed before Justice Khosla Commission. And I am just reading few sentences of his deposition relating to that 16th August, that presence in Bangkok. 1945. Yes. Let me read. Question. Could you tell us what talk took place between you and Netaji on that 16th? He told me that our secret work should continue and he was going somewhere and he will let me know where he was going, and he gave me a letter to give it to General Ishoda, a Japanese general, to get some small arms and 2 sets of wireless so that he could contact me. There was one person by name Sunil Rai who could handle these wireless sets, and he gave me all these things. The Sunil Rai was trained for wireless set operations, both transmission and receiving the wireless communications. And then further, what sort of underground activity were you required to do? Netaji's answer. Netaji's plan was to come back to India, and it was to make some arrangements for his stay in Bangkok and somewhere in Thailand. That is the answer. And you see, his Eshidas is subsequently in 6th decade or 7th decade of the 1960s and 70s, its presence in North India around the sacred places of Bhagavanji in North India. In that Bhagavanji chapter, it's very important, very important. And there are many other records relating to the 16th August 1945, Netaji's presence in activities in Saigon. And last, I'll stop by mentioning one document that is important, which I collected again from National Archives of India in 1996. That document is, I am quoting, yes, that file now is 975 INA, National Archives of India, on Netaji and INA, one intelligence file. NRS Naidu, 99 Sophia Road, responsible for the report that he heard a Moscow broadcast denying Bose's death. The broadcast went on to say that Bose should do another impulse from west of India. My friends, let me stop here today. I hope I have given you some documents too, and I request you to see the new film Sonnyashi Deshonayak, though mainly in Bengali, but also the subtitles is in Hindi. I hope very quickly it will come in English also. That will give you some impression, create some interest of the subject, and one day I will talk to you if I get to my hand some other documents relating the activities of Netaji on 16th August, Saigon, Bangkok, Thailand area. I'll read out, and one day definitely I will again read out the documents related to activities of Netaji on 17th August, Saigon. Because in my argument I told that Saigon is the primary theater of his activities before disappearance, and this theater, what was the play which was written in Saigon was enacted in Thailand. That was my final argument. And one day I will talk to you again when I will feel physically well. Let me stop here now today. Thank you. Only question is why he was directing his followers to collect weapons and wireless sets. If she want to surrender, why? A simple question to myself or to the commission. And why Japan was taking so much risk after surrender, violating norms of the surrender treaty, helping the enemy of British and America by 2 planes from Singapore to Taipei to Bangkok to Saigon, 2 military planes. Why? Why Japan took that risk? Let me stop here. Friends, any question? I am not finding any question. Also, yesterday I found no question from you. Please see the new film Sannyasi Deshnayak, and in the commercial films there is always sex, violence, cheating, drinkings, merrymaking, dancing, all these things. That is a very financially a profitable cocktail in cinema. You will not find anything here. But if you want to create some interest in you on the subject, one may. But one thing I can tell for me, what I think by myself, no film on Subhash Chandra or Netaji or Bhagavanji cannot be able to satisfy me, because basically very critical man I am. But for commoners who need to create in themselves some interest on the subject, initially they have to go through some interesting cinemas or books, whatever. But gradually, within, one has to develop analytical power, a capacity to enter into documents. But let first interest grow. I think this film will have a role if one sees it. In some areas there is some story, because it is very difficult to picturize Netaji or Bhagavanji. Very difficult. But still, it has to be picturized. And naturally there, the director or script writer has to take some sort of imagination, some sort of story to give an impression of the reality. It is very, very difficult to picturize Netaji, a man such personality, and the mystery, which is everything is behind the curtain. To picturize that is a very difficult thing. Hats off, someone has done it. I've seen it once, again I will see it. Again I will see it. Thank you very much. Let me stop it today. There is no question. Oh, there is no question. Oh, before so-called aircraft, audible, who are those disciples? Oh, who are those disciples? In Calcutta, some of the followers of Sunil Krishna Gupta on this side, North Calcutta side, and South Calcutta side, some of the disciples of Joyce. They got the information. don't come to this area of North India after getting my death news. It is a very thought that Navy revolt may have some sort of connection with Netaji. Definitely. Sujoy Dotto, is Navy revolt indirectly instigated by Netaji? That direct, I do not know directly. One thing I can tell you, Mr. Dotto, in whole Southeast Asia, Indian Navy means, British Indian Navy means a Navy in Singapore, Navy in Rangoon, everywhere. And this part of Bengal, Navy in Ceylon, Chennai, Bombay, Karachi, and also Arabian Sea. This is British Indian Navy. In the Navy, even in the among the INS soldiers, almost there is none who believed Netaji's greatness. All knew it is some sort of disappearance. With an aim to, again, to ignite the revolution against British. That was the inspiration. Dear Netaji is living. That is the best inspiration. That flame in mind. Our Netaji is living. He is waiting for the opportune moment. That ignited the spirit. No one did. If you go into documents, no one did. No one. And I have read at least 1 dozen of INA doctors who subsequently came to India after release, deposed before this Justice Khosla Commission. No doctor has told that Netaji has died in the police. No doctor. Everyone has told. He has disappeared, waiting for an opportunity to reappear. Let me stop here today.